Australia's local hero for 2016 is Dr. Keenan.
This is the story of Keenan and her vision to start a place where kids' imaginations could run wild. A place where we could write and tell stories.
There are dreamers and there are doers. Only very rarely do you find a dreamer that is a doer as well. And that is Keenan.
So, in 2012, in the heart of Redfern in inner Sydney, the Sydney Story Factory was born.
I think one of the things that Kath recognised is that in any community, but especially a community like Redfern, teachers and parents can only do so much. There is a role for the community as well to help support children in their education and to make education fun as well.
Sydney Story Factory is a place where kids from all walks of life can find their voice and tell their stories.
When they're in here, they can write about the things that they are interested in, they're not being assessed, and they're just given that space and that freedom to write about what will really get them excited.
Normally when a kid cries out for help, Miss Alice, the first aid lady, room lady, part-time superhero, would come to their rescue.
Young people feel so included, their work is completely validated as well, and they leave the workshops feeling really pumped, encouraged and inspired.
I don't believe in the Loch Ness Monster and I don't even think you can swim well. Gordon was not very happy about this, so he explained why it was so important to him.
Something that particularly impressed me about Keenan, she had a fabulous career going at the Sydney Morning Herald. She was the literary editor, doctorate from Oxford University, universally well regarded, and she just walked away from the whole thing, embarking on a dream that she had, and she made it happen before our very eyes.
All our classes are run with volunteers, and the volunteers are like a little safety net for the kids so that they can risk these things that they might not otherwise. And you can see when it works, and there's this smile that just lights up the face of the volunteer and it lights up the face of the kid, and there is this connection because they've become writers together.
And I think as much pride as Kath invests in her volunteers and staff and the kids that come through the doors of the Sydney factory, I think she might be surprised at how much pride we have in just simply being in her orbit.
In the assembly hall, I addressed my army. Cats of all factions. I found a world full of cat food and we shall invade it.
Let 1,000 flowers bloom. It's a wonderful idea. It's something that can be duplicated, not just in capital cities, but in communities across our brown and pleasant land.
From all the kids of Redfern and beyond, thank you, Kath, our local storytelling superhero.
And as the skies turn moody here in Canberra, the crowd is staunch. It's the Australian way. Ladies and gentlemen, your Australian local hero for 2016, Dr. Keenan.
Oh, thank you so much. I want to sincerely congratulate all the finalists for this award who deserve this and so much more. And I want to share this with them and with all the extraordinary people at the Sydney Story Factory, particularly our extraordinary young people who you just saw. Telling stories is a fundamental part of being human. It's how we understand the world around us and how we convince others to work with us to change it. It's really getting very wet now. My speech is a little soggy. It is also, and anyone who sat with a child will tell you this, a profoundly and often wildly creative act. Telling stories is the way we take the complicated emotions and weird spiralings of imagination inside us and give them shape and form. It is how we show who we are to the world. We know the huge benefits of helping young people tell their stories. We know it because a growing body of research demonstrates the many and varied benefits that accrue for young people. They are more likely to go on to tertiary education, they watch less TV, they are more likely to volunteer in their community. I have seen it time and again. When kids are able to tell their stories, they stand just a little bit taller. Giving young people creative opportunities amplifies who they are and who they might become. Wouldn't it be fantastic if all children in Australia had equal access to these creative opportunities, particularly our Indigenous young people who lag behind, unfortunately, so far with literacy skills? If you are a parent, on top of reading to your child, also help them write a story. If you have some free time, don't just go to see a movie, perhaps volunteer with an organisation that helps young kids make their own movies, make their own plays, make their own paintings. If you are lucky enough to have money to go to an exhibition or the theatre, then give. Give what you can to the thousands of dedicated Australians, some of whom you've seen here tonight, who need your help to give young people the creative opportunities that could turn their life around. Then let's see what the story of Australia could become. Thank you.